Arcade Perfect, my arse. Right, okay guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect my arse. Now, I'll be honest, I have probably exhausted the Arcade Perfect my arses of games I actually like, and so because of that, I am now having to sort of dig into the archives and look at games that I wasn't a fan of, because at the end of the day, they're still, you know, just because I didn't like them doesn't mean they shouldn't feature in this. So anyway, the next one, this is a game released by Konami in 1985. Now, it actually had two names. The one we're looking at today is Shao-Lins Road, and it was actually released in North America as Kicker. Now you can probably see there why, because you basically kick the shit out of everybody. Yeah, it came out in 1985, and according to Wikipedia, it was a commercial success. Anyway, right, this is the arcade one I'm playing. I don't even know who you play. You play the little dude. Now, I'm sure people used to tout this as being the spiritual successor to Year Kung Fu. It's got very, very similar oriental music. Obviously, you get to kick people. Yeah, and that is kind of where the similarity ends. I mean, the wee dude that you're playing does look quite similar to, what's his name in Year Kung Fu? Oolong, that's it. Yep, you play Oolong. I don't know if that's meant to be the same person. I'm not quite sure. Let's just put in any bollocks. There we go, let's start again. But I can't honestly say I've ever seen the arcade version. I mean, I'm obviously playing it under MAME. I've never seen an arcade cabinet of this. Yeah, in this one you don't, well, not that I'm aware of, I don't think you fight different opponents like you did in Year Kung Fu. This one you just have, it's basically quantity over quality. So you know, you've got to basically wipe out a certain number of foes per level, and then you move on to the next one. And that's kind of it. That is pretty much it. Yeah, I noticed you kick some people, they seem to drop. I don't even know what the hell it is that they're dropping. Come here, you get. There we go. Guts! I wonder if you catch that. Do you get extra points? I don't know. Right, you'll see there is a wee dude with a ponytail. He takes a few more kicks, and he's just wiped me out. He takes a few more kicks to defeat. I don't even like the graphics. I think they're ugly looking. Year Kung Fu had a certain charm, you know, the baddies look nice. They just look, I don't know what it is. Anyway, listen, that's the arcade. Let's take a look at one of the first home versions, and this is the Amstrad. Right, okay. Sorry, I'm just laughing at. Why is there a cake? Why is there a Victoria sponge sandwich going across the screen? I didn't see any of these at all in the arcade one. Right, okay, let's try and see what's good and what's bad. Now we've got a donut. Yep, I've just been wiped out with a donut. Graphics, they look alright. You know, it'd be unfair to say they don't look alright. The big, oh, there's a polo mint, or whatever, a blue polo mint flying through the screen. There's another one. The big thing for me, which I don't like this version for, is the scrolling. It is horrendous. It is bloody awful. Nope, 1,000 points for picking up the donut. Shao-Lins Road, sponsored by Krispy Kreme Donuts. Yeah, I've not really got an awful lot to say about this. I mean, it does It's colourful. I was going to say the graphics are quite blocky, but then to be fair, the arcade one is quite blocky as well, so there you go. Guts! One of the things I've always said about video games, and it applies to films as well, I suppose, is part of the reason that you get engrossed in either a film or a game is because of the characters. You've got to usually like the characters, and certainly in films, I would say, you know, how many films have you watched and you don't actually like the characters, especially when there's supposedly a goodie. If you don't like him, if he's not likable, then you're probably not going to enjoy the film. And it's the same with video games. If the main character you control isn't very likable, you can't, well, I'm not going to say relate to, that would be a ridiculous thing to say, but I don't know, and yeah, that's one of them. Anyway, that was the Amstrad one. I completely forgot to say this, all these home conversions were done by The Edge. You know, after, before our what do you call it? I can't even remember what it's called. Anyway, that bloke from U2, before he became a successful guitarist with said Irish band, he actually wrote his own games. True fact, apparently. Right, anyway, yep, this is the Spectrum one. As expected, it's kind of monochrome. Black and yellow. It certainly looks better than the Amstrad one. Oh, there's a pizza. Oh, 1,000 points for a pizza. Yeah, see when the guys are just ugly. You know what, the character, that's what I was saying earlier on. You can't, the characters in this are ugly. They really are. How did he manage to fall on his head? I have no idea. Guts. See, that looks more like the arcade. Nope, there's a little dude with a ponytail again, so I think you've got to kill him a couple of times. Now, the baddies remind me of the guy with the moustache out of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. If you're of a certain age, you probably think, who the hell are Frankie Goes to Hollywood? They were a band back in the mid-80s who became very, very successful because they had some cheeky lyrics in a song which the BBC Radio 1 promptly banned, which then made the single go to #1. Yeah, he looks like the dude with the moustache. Certainly the graphics in this are passable. They do look quite like the arcade. If anything, I probably think they look better actually. They're quite kind of squat looking. I'm just trying to see, does it actually tell you how many people you've got to kill? Don't know. Right, anyway, that was the ZX Spectrum one, and we've got a title screen there. Right, this is the Commodore 64 one. Now, right away, oh, he's lost his body, it's just a leg. Oh, there's flying cheese. Is that a euphemism? Flying cheese? This one's at least got some decent music. What the heck? Oh, and I'm dead again. Is that? Wait a minute. Ah, right, I've just noticed that's a strange mechanic. When you kick, it tells you the number of baddies you've still got to kick. Why couldn't you just put it at the top? And if it tells you at the top there, you'll see there it says 04. Right, I've now got some sort of weapon, missile thing, whatever. This certainly looks, it certainly looks the part. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the sprites in this version definitely resemble arcade far more than the other two. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Why is it when he kicks, he's got some... Alright, I've miraculously appeared at the top of the screen there. The graphics look a bit odd. Now, I have to say, I did load the disc version of the C64 one, and yeah, it had that kind of odd looking glitch thing. And so I loaded the tape, and this is the tape version, so it's obviously, this is how it should look. Alright, oh for God's sake. This one just feels a lot more, I don't know, unforgiving. Right, so that is it. That is probably the shortest Arcade Perfect My Arse ever. Believe it or not, that is the only 3 home computers that got a release of this game. According to Wikipedia, it also got a release on Microsoft Windows. I don't have that version, and also Xbox 360. So, what do I make of this game? Okay, let's talk about the different versions. The Amstrad, it was blocky, it was colourful. By God, the scrolling was woeful, awful, really bad. And that on its own would put me off playing it. The Spectrum one, it was quite pedestrian. It did have quite nice graphics. It looked the most kind of detailed, which, to be fair, wouldn't really be that difficult. Obviously, the sound isn't great. C64 one, it's got this. I'm not going to say the sound was good. The sound is passable. I mean, the sound in an arcade game is not the greatest, to be honest with you. Graphically wise, it's probably the most authentic compared to the Amstrad or ZX Spectrum one. It plays pretty well, but it's just too hard, and there's a bit of glitching going on. So, you know what? Well, this is going to be interesting. In third place, or last place, it's got to be the Amstrad one. Absolutely, that's going to be the third place one. Um, this is a difficult one. If I was going to play, what one would I play? You know what? I've got to separate them. I've really got to separate them. But if I was to make this video tomorrow, I may go for a different choice. I'm going to go in second place. I'm going to go for the Spectrum one, and in first place, I'm going to go for the Commodore 64. But you know what? The original, the arcade game is woeful. I'm not a fan of it one little bit. I think it's an ugly looking game. I don't like it. I loved Year Kung Fu. This is not a patch on that. So it wouldn't matter how faithful the home conversions are. If the original game is shite, then the home conversions are going to be shite, and that basically stands. If you really have to play a home version, then play the Commodore 64. But trust me, you'd be better gouging out your eyes with a cocktail stick. It would certainly be more pleasurable. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.